Did you know women can detect lies faster just by watching your eyes, or that their brains are wired for empathy stronger than most men will ever realize? Psychology isn't just theory, it's a mirror into the soul. Stick around, because today we're diving into 10 mind-blowing psychology facts about women that will change how you see human behavior forever. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's uncover what's been hidden in plain sight. Fact 1. Emotion reads instantly understood. One of the most fascinating psychological differences between men and women lies in the ability to read emotions. Numerous studies show that women, on average, are more capable of accurately interpreting facial expressions, tone of voice, and body language. This heightened emotional sensitivity isn't a mere stereotype. It's backed by decades of cognitive and neurobiological research. This skill is often attributed to the superior functioning of the mirror neuron system in the female brain, which is responsible for empathy and social understanding. These neurons help us mimic and reflect the emotions of others, and women's brains seem especially attuned to these signals. Historically, this capacity has served critical functions. In traditional societies, women often held primary responsibility for caregiving, which required tuning into the nonverbal needs of children and family members. Over generations, this role likely honed a finely tuned emotional radar, a sort of sixth sense when it comes to interpersonal dynamics. But the real-world applications go far beyond child-rearing. In the workplace, social groups, or intimate relationships, this emotional awareness allows women to sense tension, detect deception, and provide emotional support more naturally. It's why in many cases, women are the emotional anchors in social circles and families. That said, this strength can also be a burden. Being constantly attuned to emotional energy can lead to emotional fatigue or burnout, especially if not managed with self-care. It's a double-edged sword, both a superpower and a responsibility. Understanding this aspect of female psychology encourages a deeper appreciation for what often goes unseen, the countless moments where a woman picks up on things left unsaid, adjusts her behavior, and keeps the emotional equilibrium in check. Not by chance, but by design, she read the silence louder than words. Fact 2. Empathy powers social intelligence. Empathy is more than just feeling for others. It is the cornerstone of social intelligence, and women consistently show higher levels of empathetic response. This isn't simply due to cultural nurturing, though that plays a part, but also a reflection of structural differences in the brain. Functional MRI scans show that women's brains light up more intensely in areas associated with emotion regulation and understanding others, especially in social contexts. Why does this matter? Because empathy forms the basis for leadership, conflict resolution, and community building. Whether in the role of a friend, partner, mother, or manager, women often display an uncanny ability to read a room and act accordingly. This isn't manipulation, it's mastery. In everyday scenarios, you'll notice women offering emotional validation, intuitively adapting their tone and providing support even before it's asked for. This instinctive behavior makes them more trusted in social roles and more effective in communication-heavy professions like counseling, education, and diplomacy. Historically, empathy was essential in forming alliances within tribes or managing kinship ties. A woman who could mediate and nurture relationships was a survival asset to her community. This has evolved into today's corporate settings where team cohesion, emotional leadership, and relational thinking are prized skills. But empathy isn't without cost. High empathy can lead to emotional absorption, where one feels others' pain too deeply, leading to exhaustion or burnout. Setting emotional boundaries becomes essential and often an unspoken part of the female emotional journey. Understanding this depth of empathy in women leads us to value not only what is said, but how it is felt and delivered. It reveals the strength in softness and the power in presence. Where logic ends, empathy begins, and she's already there waiting. Fact 3. Resilience woven through struggle. Despite often facing higher rates of anxiety, depression, and social stress, women consistently show remarkable psychological resilience. Resilience is the capacity to recover from difficulties, and time after time, studies find that women bounce back emotionally faster and more completely than expected. There are multiple psychological and biological factors behind this. One is the greater use of emotional processing strategies. While men may lean on suppression or avoidance, women often confront emotional issues directly, talking through pain and seeking support. This active coping strategy is far more conducive to healing and long-term mental health. Culturally, women have historically borne the brunt of emotional labor, maintaining the household mood, caring for children, and navigating conflict with grace. It has created a legacy where women are expected to hold it together, no matter the internal storm. And they do, not because they don't feel pain, but because they know how to carry it. Research into post-traumatic growth shows that women are more likely to emerge from trauma with renewed purpose, emotional wisdom, and empathy. This is especially evident in single mothers, abuse survivors, or women in leadership. Not because life is easy, but because resilience has been woven into their character stitch by stitch. Resilience also emerges through community and connection. Women are more likely to lean into friendships and emotional bonds during stress. Whereas isolation often hinders male resilience, this network of support acts as an emotional scaffold, helping women bounce back from failure, loss, or betrayal. True resilience isn't loud. It doesn't always look heroic. Sometimes it's just getting up again and again with grace, and that's a lesson worth learning from women. She's not unbreakable, she's unyielding. Fact 4. Multitasking comes with depth. We often hear that women are better at multitasking. While this may sound like a cliché, there is neurological evidence to support the claim. Studies using brain scans show greater interhemispheric connectivity in women's brains, meaning the two sides of the brain, logical and emotional, communicate more fluidly. This allows women to shift tasks, manage multiple streams of information, and toggle between roles more seamlessly, from managing home and career to juggling emotions and expectations. Many women handle complexity with apparent ease, but it's important to note multitasking is not effortless. It often comes at the cost of mental fatigue. Where this multitasking ability truly shines is not in doing many things poorly, but in doing many things with depth and attention. A mother managing her child's school life, her career deadlines, emotional well-being of the family, and personal health isn't just ticking boxes. She's performing cognitive ballet. This ability is historically rooted as well. Women have long been central to family systems, community rituals, and spiritual practices. Juggling roles was not a choice, it was tradition. And from that necessity, a strength was born. However, this multitasking pressure can also become overwhelming. Burnout, stress, and emotional depletion are very real consequences. That's why modern psychology encourages prioritizing self-care, learning to say no, and reducing constant mental switching, even if your brain is capable of it. Multitasking, when celebrated for the right reasons, reveals not just competence, but depth of engagement, attention to detail, and emotional intelligence, making it a uniquely feminine strength when balanced wisely. She doesn't just juggle, she orchestrates. Fact 5. Loyalty over dominance preferred. In the arena of human attraction and relationships, a common myth suggests that dominance and status are universally desirable traits. However, psychological research reveals that many women prioritize loyalty, safety, and emotional connection over raw dominance or aggression, especially in long-term relationships. This doesn't mean women aren't attracted to confident or assertive individuals. Confidence is still key, but confidence without emotional maturity, integrity, and consistency often fails to build lasting trust. Women, especially as they mature, become more discerning in who they allow into their emotional world. Evolutionary psychology explains this by considering the long-term implications of mate selection. A loyal partner would protect the woman and her offspring, invest in emotional and physical security, and contribute to stability. These traits hold more reproductive value than sheer dominance or status. What's more, loyalty is often read through behavior, not words. A man who listens, shows up, respects boundaries, and remains consistent sends strong psychological signals of trustworthiness. These cues are more attractive than one-time displays of wealth or power. Culturally, traditional relationships were based on shared effort, familial values, and emotional support. Women were taught and often expected to be loyal. But now, more than ever, they expect the same in return. Emotional reciprocity, once overlooked, is now demanded. This shift highlights a powerful lesson. Dominance may win attention, but loyalty wins the heart. In friendships, family, or love, women, driven by both instinct and insight, seek those who stay, not those who shine for a moment. In the end, she doesn't remember how loud you were, only how true you stayed. Conclusion: Understanding the psychology of women reveals a world of strength, empathy, and resilience that has quietly shaped human behavior for centuries. These lessons remind us to value emotional insight, loyalty, and the remarkable capacity to heal and connect. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the hidden depths of the human mind. If you found these insights enlightening, please like, subscribe, and share, because knowledge is a treasure best passed on. Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and remember, some truths never change.